What's up, Seahawks fans? If you think the offseason's been quiet in Seattle, think again, because things are moving fast, and you need to know what's happening right now. We've got a cornerback who might be about to cash in big after proving he's one of the best in the league. Then we're diving into the NFL draft, where Seattle is making some bold moves to patch up a major hole left in the backfield. And on top of all that, we're breaking down how one young receiver went from being doubted to becoming the richest pass catcher in the entire NFL. Devin Witherspoon, the draft board, and Jackson Smith-Njigba. It's all coming up. Hit that like button real quick, and let's get into it. Starting with Witherspoon's contract situation, because this one's heating up fast. The Seahawks just handed Jackson Smith-Njigba the richest wide receiver contract in NFL history, and honestly, they might not be done writing big checks just yet, because there's another first-round pick from that 2023 draft class who's been quietly balling out, and his name is Devin Witherspoon. The No. 5 overall pick out of Illinois has been one of the most consistent corners in the league since day one. 3 straight Pro Bowls, 249 tackles, 4.5 sacks, 2 interceptions, one of them taken back to the house. The guy shows up every single week, and the Seahawks know exactly what they have in him. Here's where things stand. Seattle already accepted his 5th-year option, which keeps him locked in through 2026. But the conversation about a long-term deal, that's either happening right now, or it's about to start very soon. And given what the team just did for JSN, it would be wild if they didn't try to take care of Witherspoon the same way. Now, the market for cornerbacks is set by Trent McDuffie of the Rams, who's pulling in around $31 million a year, making him the highest-paid corner in the NFL. Witherspoon should realistically land somewhere in that same range. Think for years, somewhere around $125 million. That's the ceiling of what his deal could look like based on where the market sits today. Does that mean he's going to push to become the highest-paid corner in the league? Not necessarily. He doesn't have to. The Seahawks want to keep their core together, and Witherspoon is absolutely part of that core. But whether the number ends up breaking records or not, one thing's clear: a deal is coming, and it's going to be a big one. The only question left is when they get it done. Alright, so Seattle's got the contract side of things moving, but what about the draft? Because the Hawks have some real needs heading into April, and a new mock just dropped that shows exactly how they could attack those holes. And trust me, the approach they're taking is pretty interesting. Take a look at this. The Seahawks come into the 2026 NFL Draft as defending Super Bowl champions. But that doesn't mean the roster is perfect. Kenneth Walker is gone, the offensive line needs attention, and the defense could use some fresh legs. General Manager John Schneider has some work to do, and in this latest 7-round mock, Seattle goes full chess mode right from the jump. Instead of sitting at pick 32 and taking the best available, the Hawks pull off 3 tradebacks before it's all said and done. Here's how it plays out. They send 32 and a late pick to Green Bay for the 52nd and 84th picks, plus a 2027 second-rounder. Then they flip pick 52 to New England for the 63rd and 95th selections. And finally, they move 63 to Buffalo, landing the 91st, 126th, and a 2027 third-round pick. By the time the smoke clears, Seattle has 6 picks and loaded up on mid-round ammunition. Classic Schneider move. So, what do they do with all those picks? First things first, running back. With Walker out and Zach Charbonnet coming back from injury, the team is desperate for a lead ball carrier. In the 2nd round, they grab Mike Washington Jr. out of Arkansas. At around 225 pounds, he's got a rare mix of power and explosion that should make him an immediate contributor. He won't need long to find his footing in this offense. With their first 3rd-round pick, they address the pass rush, taking Donnie Denise Sutton from Penn State at 84th overall. At 6'5" and 262 pounds, Denise Sutton looks exactly like the kind of 4-2-3 end Seattle wants to develop. The production at Penn State didn't always match the talent, but that's where good coaching changes everything. Then Seattle gets offensive line depth with back-to-back picks. Wake Forest's Falili Famo comes in at 91 as a versatile tackle who projects inside at guard. Right after, at 95, Kentucky's Yolan Farmer, a powerful interior lineman who can flat-out move people at the point of attack. The 4th round brings Michigan edge rusher Jashawn Barham, who has the athleticism and run-stopping ability to contribute early in a rotational role. 6 picks, multiple positions addressed, and a haul of future assets to work with. If this plays out anything close to this in the real draft, Seahawks fans are going to be really happy come draft night. But look, as exciting as the draft is, nothing that happened this offseason compares to what Jackson Smith-Njigba just locked in. The kid just became the highest paid receiver in football. And the story of how he got there? It's one you need to hear from start to finish. Let's break it down. Let's rewind a little. When Jackson Smith-Njigba came out of Ohio State, everyone agreed the ceiling was sky high, but the path to the top wasn't exactly a straight line. Injuries knocked him back in his junior season, and some scouts questioned his athleticism heading into the 2023 draft. Even so, Seattle took him at no. 20 overall, and his very first message to the organization was simple: "I promise they won't regret it." Well, 3 years later, the Seahawks aren't regretting a single thing. As a rookie, Smith-Njigba quietly put together a solid first year, minus 63 catches, 628 yards, 4 touchdowns, including a clutch game-winning grab late in the season against the Eagles. Not flashy, but he was already showing flashes of what was coming. In 2024, with DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett still around, JSN took over as the clear no. One option under new OC Ryan Grubb. He hit 100 receptions to tie the franchise record, added 1,130 yards, and made his first Pro Bowl. Good season, but 2025 was something else entirely. Under Clint Kubiak, everything clicked. Smith-Njigba posted 119 catches, 1,793 yards, and 10 touchdowns, and he did it in nearly 100 fewer snaps than the year before. His yards per reception jumped from 11.3 all the way up to 15.1. He led the NFL with 8 catches of 40-plus yards. He put up the 8th most receiving yards in a single season in league history, and became just the third player under 24 to crack 1,700 yards, joining Isaac Bruce and Justin Jefferson. First-team All-Pro Offensive Player of the Year. Second Pro Bowl, Super Bowl champion. The contract that followed, 4 years, with Smith-Njigba under deal through his age 29 season. The Seahawks get to spread out the money and keep their best player locked in through his prime. JSN gets paid right now, at the peak of his value. Some fans are worried about what life looks like without Kubiak running the offense in 2026. But here's the thing. This guy has already produced at a high level under 3 different offensive coordinators. New OC Brian Fleury is inheriting the best receiver in football. The adjustment shouldn't take long. Look, the Seahawks are making all the right moves. Locking up JSN, building toward a Witherspoon deal, and stacking draft capital for the future. But the real question is, can this team repeat without the same coaching staff that built the championship run? Drop your take in the comments, and make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss a single update on the Hawks.